What up? What up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. It is What the Fuck Wednesday. We are joined tonight by Brad from the Vinyl Thursday show, one of the hosts.
What the fuck is going on, everybody?
Woo, he got a little voice today. We got Greg in the back over there.
What up, y'all?
And we got Dino the Genetic Marvel all the way from another motherfucking country.
Bienvenidos, señores y señores.
Esta noche es Telemundo.
If I'm gonna learn Spanish, I want to learn it to be able to fucking tango with those guys on the fucking Mexican radio. Those guys are badass.
Oh yeah, they got No Siento Telemundo.
Oh, it's fantastic.
All right, so what's up, everybody out there in internet land? It is What the Fuck Wednesday. We're gonna do a little quick show for you today. Gonna touch on a couple topics that are most likely gonna touch you in the boo-boo and make you feel all kind of butthurt. So, first and foremost,
out of the gate. Like,
that's it.
Exactly.
First and foremost, come and check us out.
Feelings are already hurt. I'm going home.
Exactly.
Never mind. I'm already
June 18th, come and check us out down at the Wick Yards. We're going to have comedy. We're going to have metal. We're going to have costumes. We're going to have a good time. Come and check us out. What time the doors open on that, Greg?
7.
7 o'clock doors open, 5 at the door. Come on in and have a good time. Go check out Paul Goon. Go check out Don Cody. Go check out Dino's the Genetic Marvels page, the Orgasm Guys, and all the rest of that bullshit right there.
the producer plug 2, which is the 31st.
Yes, we gonna have the what's his name from Slipknot?
Sid the 3rd.
We're gonna have Sid the 3rd from Slipknot doing the beat show. The plugs. Say it again, Greg.
Producer plug.
Susie's Dogs and Drugs.
Yep, Susie's Dogs and Drafts over in Portman. Come check it out.
Oh, the one. But look, I'd have been downtown thinking it was the one downtown. That's fucked up.
Or wait, it is the one down. My bad, it is the one down.
Yeah, see, the one in Boardman's way too white to be letting all us up in there.
Yeah, I think it's smaller too.
They're like a beat contest. They're a little tan to be coming into Boardman. Woo! Hey, at least Boardman ain't a sundown city. I found out Niles is a sundown city.
Yeah, for sure.
what's a sundown city? What? No booze after sundown?
No black people after sundown.
God damn it. God damn it, Dino.
And if you Google it, Google says a lot worse. Google says like really, really a lot worse. Google Niles, Ohio, sundown city, and just listen to what that bitch got to say to you. Ooh, it gets rough.
You know what, man? Like, fuck. I don't understand the whole idea behind like why people are that way. Like, it's a learned thing and it's stupid. It's ridiculous,
It's
but
called racism.
yeah, but it just doesn't. I don't get it. And at the same time, you're like, guy, it's so much work to be that angry. I know. Right. I'm an angry person, and it's a lot. I'm surprised I'm this fast.
Just to add some extra shit to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm mad you're an asshole. Why is your color got to dip into it too?
Like, I hate people for who they are on the inside.
Yes.
What do I need to worry about their color, where they're from? Oh, who gives a shit?
Exactly.
Right.
That means I have to get to know them even better. Gross.
The rainbow unicorn is just as much of an asshole.
What? Have you ever met someone from a foreign country and realized that they're an asshole? It's very freeing. You're kind of going, oh, there are horrible people everywhere. That's nice.
I've got plenty of assholes in other fucking places.
Because, like, it's that one thing where you realize you're like, oh, people are the same everywhere. And everywhere there's that guy who everyone's like, oh, fuck, this guy again's here. Fucking, oh, can someone just not tell him where we go? Fucking.
So are you that guy in Canada?
No, I usually have a good time. I show up and I'm usually overdressed, so everyone goes, ooh, but I'm also very fat, so everyone looks at me. It's great. It's great being me, right?
Okay.
But
yeah, you drape $10,000 over any pile of shit. It looks good.
Exactly. Are you kidding me? And then with this luxurious beard,
I've seen some of Dino. Dino goes in looking like 007.
Oh yeah, I know how to fancy up.
It's still a turd.
I do. Listen,
Oh yeah. Opens up his coat. There's 7 Asians fly out.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I picture like that whole like a jacket of ferrets, like they all just disappear, like except they're Asians. I don't know. It's cool.
I was picturing it more like, you know,
Wow.
in New York when the guys open the trench
It
coats
just
and they have all the
gets
watches.
Right.
I feel like that makes me more of a cannibal than a pervert. I don't know. That's
This all depends
also
on how
not
you're
sure.
eating them.
Yeah, which one? Well, which one is worse? It's. I feel in this day and age, I'm not sure. Do you want to be a person that eats human flesh, or do you want to be racist? I think there's an argument to be made.
I wonder if there's racist cannibals. Like, I'm not gonna eat him. He's Filipino.
They taste different.
This is definitely getting taken down now. Let's be honest. Like,
Right.
There's
Them,
spicy.
them damn Indian people are way too spicy.
aw.
Way too much curry.
You ever try curry?
Yeah.
So I should just shut this off.
But
now,
what if?
right?
But what if you? Yeah, no, this is definitely getting taken down instantly. But what if you get somebody and then you're like, oh, I expected it to be spicier, and it turns out to be very bland. You're like, oh, maybe they were vegan. I don't know. It's
Oh no, I don't know if that would be racist or what, but if I had to be a cannibal, I'm definitely not eating any vegans.
Well,
yeah. I'd
at
rather a
least you
vegetarian
get
than a
your-
vegan.
At
Sorry.
least you get your daily
Be
intake
healthy.
of vegetables and fruits and shit, though.
Yeah, there's salad everywhere. You know, God put salad everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
I'm okay
Yeah,
with a
that's in your front
vegetarian. Vegans eat weird shit though. Like that's the thing. There's like, oh, it's like meat. Hey man, no, it's not.
No, you know it's like meat.
Meat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I never. Yeah. If you want to eat just vegetables, hey man, that's fine. Like eggs and shit like that. Sure, that's a fair dietary request.
Can't eat
Simple.
eggs. Can't eat eggs.
No, that's a vegan. They don't eat eggs. They don't. I think they're stuck on like nuts and fucking. Some of them are like only if it's fallen. You're like, guy, you
Yeah,
don't
I know a bunch of vegans that
Oof.
suck on nuts. I know a lot of vegans that suck on nuts.
Just because they sucked on your nuts doesn't make it.
Hey,
the
are
same.
vegans the one that still smell funny but have great weed? Is that still the?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
weird,
yeah.
oddly enough, yes.
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's-
they do
you know.
eat plants and shit, so I'd imagine they'd be pretty good.
But
at
they
doing
eat
it.
weird plants that where you're like, hey man, now your farts smell like oranges. It's what the fuck, man. It's some weird shit, and
You
you're
know
like,
what
"Ah."
You know what I don't understand? Like you get vegans, but the vegans that can't eat the fucking what is it? The wheat shit.
What?
What's the wheat? The gluten.
Oh, listen, that's just made up
So
bullshit.
now you're a vegetarian, but you can't eat the vegetarian. The vegetables.
Listen, in theory, if you really wanted to do it that way, like to go full veganism, right? Fruit is the offspring of trees, right? Like that's technically what it is.
Tree
So-
babies.
They technically, right? That's why like the female of the tree, like the male trees seed, but female trees grow fruit. That's why they're mostly
Yeah, I've
male
grown
trees.
weed. I know.
right? So yeah, and it's so that's actually the best way to learn about it is grow some weed and you figure out how pollination works and how important bees are. Hey, is there a weed bee? Is there weed honey? Like
I'm sure there is. Like I don't know if it's naturally made, but I'm sure somebody has infused honey.
if you have the bees, that is a dog barking. I know I'm really high,
yeah,
but it is a
that's-
dog. Okay.
yeah.
I'm just making sure. It looks like a dog that can't defend you. That's how it sounds. The dog that would notify you
There's
of
a pack.
danger, but
There's
hey,
a pack.
yeah, there's something over there. Just gonna say, might cause some ruckus. Anyways, yeah, but like, if you can grow, because there's the psychedelic honey. Guy, we're 10 minutes in. There's no way this is gonna air. There's no way.
Oh wait. Y'all keep going. I'm gonna handle these dogs so we don't have them in the back.
Guy,
So,
if we hear one squeal, it's not okay. It is not okay. I'm telling you that right now.
let me ask you a question before you continue on this.
Sure.
Would it be the same as people who have honeybees?
Yeah.
That have them in those boxes that actually make honey.
Yeah.
Right. They have that little canister looking thing to where they
Smoke.
puff smoke in there. Well,
Yeah.
the bees don't like that smoke, so naturally they retreat into the bottom of the hive.
Yeah.
So they're able to take the canister up out with the honeycomb on it and remove the remaining bees and do what they got to do.
Correct.
Well, so you're saying fill that thing with weed like a weed vape and puff weed into there so the bees are high when they
No.
make the honey?
Number
Is that what
one,
you're
I
getting
like
at?
the way you're thinking, though. I feel like that is definitely a field of
Me
research.
too.
Like that's a doctorate level field of research.
Because
where
I mean,
it's, yeah.
I don't think it works that way.
No, I was thinking if you had the bee hives close to a cannabis
Marijuana field or
orchard.
Yeah.
Is it an orchard?
I guess.
I would
Kinda.
think so.
Yeah, I would see it as an orchard.
Yeah.
But like, because there's the bees in Asia that make psychedelic honey, which is like number one.
Where?
It's
So
in
you already
Asia.
know they have it.
Yeah, it's psychedelic honey, but the bees that make it, like their stinger, they're like the one bee in the world that doesn't die after stinging you, and their stinger is long enough to go through like the bee suits, like no problem. They're like, you're getting stung. It's just a question of how bad you're gonna get stung if you.
That sounds like fucking Futurama. They had an episode where they had the bees that made the royal jelly.
Okay, so
when you get stung?
Yes, that's yes, it's very similar to that.
Well, there's a spider in Africa or the Amazon that if it bites you, your dick stays hard for like 10 hours.
No, I don't want to see no spider like that. I'll crush the fuck out of it. Like any normal goddamn spider.
Don't lie. You say 10 hours? I could do some damage in any country in 10 hours. A 10-hour hard on? Just keep going.
Because Dino's walking down the street with just little chicks stuck to his dick. Like,
Well, this is the thing. Like, I complain constantly about the whole guys walking around with their dick root showing, right? Where they're like, I'm so ripped, you can see their dick root. And I'm like, listen, but at the same time, if I had that, yeah, I'd walk around naked. Like, it would be such a pain in the ass to get pants on me because I'd be like, just everybody look at my dick. Just Like, come on.
We call you Dino the dancing baby.
Listen, if you could see my dick root, it wouldn't be a baby. And every chick would be like, man, charisma and a big dick? Wow.
I give a new meaning to the genetic marvel.
Right.
Can you imagine if I got ripped then? Oh, come on.
No,
I would walk around with a picture of how I look now and be like, I used to look like this fat fuck. Now I'm gorgeous. You kidding?
Nah, because you'd have to go through a bunch of that plastic surgery or you'll look like a flying squirrel.
Oh my God.
I got healthcare. I'm good. It's fine. I don't give a shit. They'll pay for it up here. I don't give a...
Yeah,
but well, for like 1 week though, you know damn well you'd go to the top of a building and just jump off.
I was thinking of being like a matador and then chasing down bulls and be like, ah, ah, ah! Like, just paint half of me red.
Toro. Just jiggling the arm fat.
Yeah, it only makes sense. Hey, you only have limited opportunities like that, right? It's not. How the fuck did we get to this subject?
Yeah, we didn't even touch on anything we were supposed to be touching on yet.
We really haven't. We really haven't.
What the fuck Wednesday?
Yeah, well,
I mean, I guess we can associate turkey arm to the turkey neck on Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, how old is Nancy Pelosi? Number one, why is she still
Jesus? Yeah, that's how old Nancy Pelosi is. Jesus. She's that old.
It's like telling somebody that their age is pi. Like, you're at pi age. What? Jesus.
No, now 3.12, whatever the fuck. We're talking about when pi was invented. That's how old.
Well, you know Betty White was older than sliced bread, right?
You know, Betty White was still fucking when she died.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
You know she had them little 18-year-old dudes like, Mama Betty.
They were probably Asian.
No, they weren't Asian. I bet Betty White taking cock. She's taking like real pipe. You know, she had a bunch of NBA players in the background.
I don't think she'd go that far.
Oh,
Like,
you think Betty White would have run?
Betty White
She would
went
have rode the
that
fuck out of Shaq.
Betty
That would
White
have been the
went
Shaq
that far.
attack.
I wonder, like, he's got to have a massive dick. Like, ridiculous.
Dude.
Like he's a
Cat
big guy.
Cat Williams was like, I can't even be his friend. His dick is just all on my head. Just
Yeah, no, for sure. You can't. And you seen the interviews where it's him and Kevin Hart, and he just picks Kevin Hart up like he's a baby, just like, oh, just dangle him around.
I would be mad as fuck. Put me down, you big chocolate motherfucker. Fuck is wrong with you?
Listen,
Get your dick off of my goddamn shoulder.
Oh, it would be like, like it would like hang over. You'd be like, hey, what's up? Wait, what's up? Like,
go to shake his hand and you're shaking his dick.
Dude, you could put like a fucking sack lunch into his fucking foreskin. Like just, there's an orange, an apple, banana, just sandwiches in there. Massive.
Imagine that man's ball sack. It would look like a bowling ball sack.
Well, you're supposed to be talking about Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, okay. Again, welcome to What the Fuck Wednesday.
All right, Nancy Pelosi is not allowed to get the cookie in church no more.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh.
Because she's pro-abortion. And for the people who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, the Archbishop in San Francisco at Nancy Pelosi's home church has denied Nancy Pelosi the sacrament of communion.
Yes.
To the Catholics and the Bible thumpery people, that's some big shit. That's some big shit right there.
For Catholics, yeah, it's huge. Right?
Yeah.
Because communion is what keeps you blameless, right? Like keeps you sin free.
Well, Christians have communion too.
Sorry?
Christians have to.
Yeah.
But it's like for the Catholics though, that little cookie is some shit.
Yeah, for Catholics are weirdos too, right?
That's like your plane ticket, and she just got hers punched.
Yeah, and well, as we were saying the other day, was listen, to do something like that so close to death's door, like that is some risky gangster shit. Like, because look, a strong wind and she's done. Okay, she's too old.
Dude, she farts 150 proof, man.
It's got to be just dust coming out though, right? Like just
no, that bitch is running on ethanol, man. That's old school engineering right there.
You get a little spritz of like
she's running on grain alcohol. I wouldn't be surprised that chick ain't got a fucking little twist thing on her titty. Keep her ass running.
Hey, do you know when she farts, it's probably like purging nitrous on her.
Oh god.
That's it, dude.
Listen, Marco said twisting the titty, and I thought of the bad guy from Hellboy, where he had the like, and it just came back to life, and you're like, oh god damn it, man, why?
And who was the bad guy from Hellboy? A Nazi.
Yeah. Exactly.
Allegedly. God. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, the idea that like I just don't know where this came from. Like, why did the Archbishop say, "Hey, fuck you and the horse you rode in on"? Like, what was her?
She was blatantly out there, like her views on abortion laws, and they're saying that the Pope might even get in on the whole shit because I guess it's becoming. Before it was just a wave in the pond. Now it's a fucking wave in the bathtub. And everybody's noticing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's a hot topic, right? And listen, the whole Roe versus Wade thing is my understanding is Roe versus Wade wasn't even a good job, right? So like it's now thrown back to I feel like I know it sounds optimistic maybe even, but like the idea was to turn over Roe versus Wade, throw it back to the state level so the state can throw it back to federal court and they can redo it under a new guideline, kind of make a new law. But what the hell do I know? I'm Canadian.
See, from the way I understood it, it was they wanted to throw it back to the states. And there's 24 states that want stricter laws, but then the rest of the states, you can pretty much fucking kill the baby as it's high-fiving you out the snatch. I mean,
which is scary, right?
Dude, but go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just giving a high five.
Oh.
As they slide on by, it's like later, sucker.
But yeah, I mean, even Ryan and I got into a big argument over that because he tried to tell me that that wasn't possible. We did a whole show on that. That blog got passed. I believe it was in New York. And it's like, the mother has a choice. She can have birth to this baby. She can give birth to this baby. The baby sits in a fucking tray while this woman decides whether she wants to keep it or not. And they're not giving it to an adoption agency. They're going to fucking kill this live kid.
Yeah, that's
that's the rights. That's women's rights. That's my body, my choice. Bitch, that's your kid in a tray.
True. And listen, in all honesty, Marco, it's that kind of stuff where as much proof as anyone can provide, I personally just don't believe that that's possible.
I don't believe somebody could actually have that in them to do that.
It just seems insane. And from my perspective, I don't. Honestly, I have no opinion about abortion publicly because, obviously that's insane, right? But at the same time, I can't picture a situation where I wouldn't want my offspring. I don't even actually, you know what? One time I was walking with Victoria and she was like, oh, if I was pregnant and it was a question between me or the kid, before she could finish it, I was like, the kid, obviously. And she's like, could you at least take a minute and fucking mull it over, you bastard? I'm like,
I only gotta love you for so many years. I mean, I'm gonna love him forever.
Well, no, I said, listen, the whole idea is if we, when we have kids, is that we live on by way of them, right? Our principles, our guide, our knowledge lives on through our offspring. That's the whole idea behind everything. So it's like, yeah, why am I going to kill the kid if you're fucking on death's door? There's a good chance you're both going out. I'll keep the kid. I'll fucking hire some ladies and we're good to go. Insurance is top notch up here.
Especially for an Asian. Ooh,
yeah, you kidding?
You get big money for an Asian.
Listen, hey. Realistically, it's Asian and Greek. That makes it the two oldest cultures in existence. That kid could be a powerhouse. And if it gets my height and her Asianness, we're good to go.
Oh yeah, dude.
Easy.
If we get your bigness, that's fucking sumo wrestler fucking all day.
Listen, I would just tell him, I'm like, listen, you got to go train under Jackie Chan. Be a big guy like Arnold, but then be able to do flips like Jackie. Could you imagine the money? You would fucking spank the Rock. The Rock would have
ECW. That's old school ECW, like Sabu and RVD. When they had big, huge motherfuckers doing the little Mexican shit.
Exactly. Are you kidding? It'd be fantastic. I feel like we need more public displays of violence. Like that. Well, you know what?
Controlled violence. Public displays of controlled violence.
A healthy demonstration reminds everyone what we're fighting for to stay civil and part of healthy society, okay?
Well, that's what Vlad the Impaler did when he stuck the people's heads on the fucking sticks and left them outside the fucking city.
So he went a little too far. Let's be honest. He maybe went a little bit ahead, but
I got the message out.
Listen.
Hold on. What leads you to believe that it was too far?
Well, I think the more so that he had dinner with them.
I kind of think that maybe that's not so far.
Well, they weren't there to be his friend. Okay, so I understand an intense message was needed, but I'm thinking, hey, maybe not eating dinner with them. That's one step too far,
Well, you give a last meal. I mean, hell,
you give them a last meal. You don't eat your meal with them for the last. That's not how it works. Okay, that's backwards, sir.
But that's an awesome fuck you.
Also true, the balls you gotta respect, right?
And then you only gotta do it once every few months. Once the fucking flesh decays off the head, then you throw a few more up there.
I feel like you'd have to do it more than once a year, right?
You
couldn't have it like an annual party because that's worse.
It's gotta be at least quarterly.
Yeah, you do it once every 2 weeks.
No, it's
You
quarterly.
can't do it
gotta
once
do
every
that.
2 weeks, man. You're gonna fucking throw the earth off its axis with that much murder. Like you can't. That's just gonna be the
That's
disease from the rotting
It'll work
bodies.
out.
It's too
Right,
much.
right. You just, you stick a few up there, you leave them up there for about 4 months, and then you take them down, you throw some new ones up there, you burn the old ones.
So as long as you have it far enough away from your water source, you could leave them out there to be picked raw by
Animals.
scavengers, right? Like
Yeah.
that's fine.
And then you get your cannibals that come in there, might get them a little dinner.
So see,
You
that's
get
it.
this-
It's
You're helping the whole environment. That's all.
You know what? Hey,
That's
we
green.
spent-
That's
We
green.
spent almost 15 minutes not talking about cannibals, and you had to bring it up. Like you had to bring it up. I said scavengers. We all knew what I meant. There's no question. Okay, we tried to bring it back. You bastard! God damn it!
Brad and I had this conversation. I had to think back, and it's in my blood, dude. It's in my DNA. The Taino tribe was cannibals, the original Puerto Ricans.
I think there were a lot of there were a lot of dangerous groups in history who did practice cannibalism, though, right? Like, and remember, cannibals. Every culture and like historic knowledge has a warning against cannibalism, right?
That's how the Wendigos come about.
The Wendigos, even like there are ties to all sorts of things, right? I think there's a few of them in Greece too, but one of the big things is there are very few groups of people that figured out that as long as you don't eat the brain, technically you're okay. Like because it's the prions that will destroy your mental capacity.
But what does that
right?
say for them? Some people over in the litter box who take the monkeys and stick them alive and fucking smack them on the head and eat their brains.
Well, delicacy takes a lot of forms. I don't know, man.
As long as it ain't the human one.
Well, that's what they're saying. Like, remember Mad Cow? How long ago was Mad Cow? Do you remember when it was a big deal?
About 10, 15 years ago now.
Yeah.
I think it's more like 2025, eh? Fuck, we're old. Shit. You know.
There was the cow, there was the anthrax, there was something else.
Yeah, that's early 2000s, right? Because remember, everyone was hot buttoned around 2001, right? That's everyone was like, everyone, everywhere is a murderer at some point in their life. We just have to be ready for it, which I get. It's
the
fucking terrifying.
The precog theory.
Yeah, well, yeah. Given everyone the opportunity, they would commit some sort of horrible, heinous crime, which, you know,
maybe.
I don't feel like that's. I feel like that's just humanity. Is that put under the right circumstances, everyone has a breaking point, and he who doesn't have a breaking point will never. They aren't
not human.
Well, they're not dangerous, right? Like that's someone who will never have a backbone, will never stand for anything. They're not.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Not
Tell that to the kid who just shot up the school.
Isn't that fucking terrifying?
Yeah.
How many? It was what? One teacher, 14 students.
Two teachers, and dude, there was like, I think it was a total of 21 people who got killed.
Fuck.
Yeah, he came in a riddled motherfucker. And then, like you said, when we were talking before, there was two fucking cops in there.
Yeah.
You got a fucking two cops. Wasn't there a security guard or something in there too?
Yeah. So it was, I think he was an armed school officer. So their own. I don't know what level of security that means. Like what it was.
Obviously none. There was none. What the fuck was he armed with? Pepper spray?
Well, this was his school, right? Like he hasn't been there in a year, but it is his school.
I guess, yeah. And no, well, you know what? Because the first was it this school that was the little kids, or was that the last shooting?
It was second, third, and fourth graders. He was 18, so it's been years. Years before.
Yeah. So there was no bullying involved. What the fuck? He's going to kill the fucking kids that bullied him when he was in the womb?
He shot his grandma and then drove her car, and the cop caught up to him, and he hit the school as they were chasing him, and he ran in there.
So are we saying it was a crime of convenience that he was just
a couple of ways in?
That's
before he got into the school.
Yeah, I told you this is a weird fucking story, dude. And even listening to the interview with the grandfather's like dumbfounded, like you can see it isn't even like one of those not my kid. It's like he did what?
Listen, and you know what? I never want people to think like our condolences to the families of the people and all that kind of stuff.
Yes,
like, hey
yes,
man,
it's
that's
tragedy.
a sad thing, and we're talking about it with no disrespect intended, obviously, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
But like, it is like, this is the problem: is we're so hyper fixated on the continuous misinformation, disinformation, that we're having things come through short, like piece by piece. But like, that's weird, man. Like, why would you just pop in? Like,
it just reminds me of back what I said about that fucking Arizona senator that said that it's the summer of the feds. They're starting all these fucking, and I'm not saying that this is fake or whatever. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is it's mighty fucking shady. This is real. This is seeming real. Like the old man walking into a hotel room with 4 fucking crates full of ammunition and all these guns and shooting up everybody, and then magically that all went away. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
it just is no longer popular in the media.
Well, that's the bigger problem, right? Like, we've gotten so aggressive with the top down that like we've missed so many steps in the local and checkpoint of everything, right? Like realistically, do you remember seeing, it was a little while ago, it was popping around everywhere where this meteorologist was on the news, and he goes, hold on 1 second. He goes, so this is where there's a tornado warning. He goes, give me 1 second. He calls his son live on the air. He goes, hey, listen, you guys need to get down to the basement into the fucking room because there's a tornado heading right to our house. So, he goes, I knew he was playing video games, so he wouldn't have been watching the news. So I wanted to make sure I called. And you're going, hey man, that's real news. Like, yeah, that's real shit happening. And you know what? I respect the guy going, hey man, call everybody in the area, fucking let them know there's shit's going down, right? But now it's now, oh, we want to get ratings. Listen, I want to watch the news that has the least ratings, the least charisma, the most factually accurate information, period. Boring ass news of some like old ass fucking jerkweed who's just reading the news. Perfect. That's what I want.
See, I thought Australian news was gonna be like that, but I fucking love Australian news. They're fucking about it, dude. But they don't give a fuck, dude. Especially if it's not about Australia. They might hide their own shit, but of course we're not in Australia. Yeah. They don't give a fuck about what's going on in America. They're like, there's riots. Boom! Right there.
Listen, it's what is it? It's Australia Sky News. That's right?
Sky News, yeah.
Listen, they, number one, not a good-looking person on their newscast. Not one person is a looker, okay? Which I respect. Because it's just
their news people look like fucking news people.
Yeah, like they look like news people. You're like, listen, everyone's got something weird. One guy's got a weird hairline. The other one's tie's never straight. The lady's got bushy eyebrows. Everybody's got a weirdo fashion, But then they drop it like
the truth. Yeah.
Listen, and you know what? Listen, God willing, of course you're going to hide your shame, and other people can report about it. But the stuff they're saying about America, even Europe, guy, they were talking about China too, and you're like, God damn.
They showed a fight in Parliament, like the straight brawl. They were all brawling up in Parliament. Motherfuckers was jumping over their little bleachers and shit, cranking. You saw toupees flying. You know what you heard over here in the States? There was a fracas in Parliament yesterday.
Okay, there's nothing more disrespectful than knocking a man's toupee off. Like, seriously, that is.
See one fucking flap up and flap back down, dude.
Listen, hey, that's not right. Like, when you knock a man's toupee off, you're like, hey, that's inflammatory. That's like smacking somebody in the face. You're gonna duel. People need to die after that shit. Okay?
Somebody, I gotta shoot your mama or something.
Yeah, like, listen, man, like, that's not. You can't be knocking people's toupees off. That's like taking off a woman's wig. Guys, she has every right to castrate you after that. Like, that's dangerous.
Ooh, yeah, especially around here in the hood. I didn't see many of motherfuckers yank a weave or yank a wig off.
Oh, you're dead. You're a dead man.
Dude, I escaped death one day, no lie. I'm telling you, you want to fucking have a Puerto Rican woman ready to slice your face in 50 pieces with whatever sharp object is there. You walk up on a Puerto Rican woman and wipe her eyebrow off. Whoo, my God. I was in one of my stupid, drunk, ignorant modes, and I did that to a girl in a bar one time. Man, I was lucky to get out of there, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, listen. The amount of I respect.
Listen, it was just like my mom when I was little. You know, you lick the thumb and you just smudge it up off the house.
Listen, I respect the work ethic and the time it takes to put an image together, and when you fucking defame it like that, listen. Yeah, man, you're gonna get hurt. Like,
dude, man, it was like I broke that poor girl's soul, dude.
Bad image to begin with.
Oh no, she was pretty. I was just pretty drunk. Oh yeah, it was God. She just, and it wasn't like she had no eyebrow there. She just had like real light eyebrows, so she darkened them in, and she had them looking real perfect. But they weren't. I'm looking at, for somebody who gets their eyebrows done, I'm looking at her eyebrows, and I'm like, that's a fake shit. It was like a hot rod and the numbers didn't match.
Oh, no, you start walking around with a magnet, just checking if it's Bondo. You're just like, hey, fucks with this Bondo shit. Yeah, no, that's like, yeah, but still, man, that's a nom. It's not worth
bad move. Bad.
You gotta walk in there packing to pull a move like that. Like, it's either a gun or a massive cock, like one of the two, because something's going down. You're gonna have to show off. Like, it's not.
I made it out alive, and I didn't have a gun on me.
He was wishing he did, though.
Well,
yeah.
God, men are idiots. This is fantastic. It's true. We're all perverts. It's true. It's fine. This is listen. As soon as anyone watches the first 10 minutes, this is getting recorded and taken down, so we can say whatever we want. That's
pretty much. That's the way we do it, anyways.
Right.
Hey,
You'd
at
be
least
surprised how much stuff stays up. So back to Pelosi and the cookie, man. Whoopi Goldberg got the nerve to say that the Archbishop does not have the right to deny communion to somebody.
Yes, he should.
Doesn't
he run the church?
That's like the if a priest could tell you no, the Archbishop could tell you get the fuck out of the church.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
There's only one. It goes priest, and then I believe it's Archbishop, and then there's the bishop, and then there's the Pope.
Yeah, exactly.
Archdiocese. So the Archbishop, I believe, would be talking with like a city mayor. I think bishop goes for like governor or like a bishop would talk to a governor, and then there would be like levels of bishops and stuff. But like, yeah, man, like that's an archbishop. That's not some guy. Like, he's the one that chooses. Like,
yeah,
that's it.
I just love what, like Whoopi Goldberg of all. Look, she said some dumb shit. But I give her credit. She was on Sesame Street back in the day. But Big Bird would want to smack the fuck out of her for that stupid shit right there. How the fuck you gonna tell the Archbishop? That ain't even my religion. That's just
the conniption you're having just on that is funny enough.
That's as ballsy as fucking Amber Turd doing the dope on the stand. Allegedly. That's just, you go, no, you're the Archbishop, you don't know. I'm just some fucking mouthpiece that talks shit. I know better than you.
Well, wasn't she supposed to be canceled, and then miraculously she didn't get canceled?
Oh, there ain't nobody. Whoopi is a discount Oprah. Allegedly.
I feel like now she's premium because she's a little older, and isn't she?
No, she'll always. Celie will always be in Nettie's shadow.
Oh, that's not something we're going to talk about. That's for sure. That's not appropriate at all.
You and me
no. Oh God, this is definitely getting taken down. I'm just having a great time.
I'm referring to a popular movie that they were both in.
God, you know what? Get it out now. So tomorrow we don't have any issues, right? I'm already getting screenshots for everything for tomorrow's show. It'll be great.
I loves Hoppo. I loves Hoppo with all my heart, but I kill him if he put his hands on me again.
Listen, that's just good advice too. At the same time, listen.
Yeah, but see, that was Oprah punking Whoopi, telling Whoopi that if her kid smacks her again, she was gonna kill him. So Whoopi always gonna be in the shadow of Oprah.
How old is Whoopi?
The same age as Oprah. I remember Whoopi when she was doing stand-up when Reagan was still in office. Like, I think I still got it on VHS. She talked about sucking an old guy's dick that she was taking care of. Yeah, Miss Whoopi Goldberg. And that's not a legend. Go look at the old Raisin story.
Hey, is Whoopi and Joan Rivers, they were around the same age, no?
I think Joan's a little older.
Joan's a little older.
Yeah.
Joan was funny. Joan was...
Yeah, Joan was raw, too.
Oh, she was a pervert. Like, god damn, the shit. Oh, yeah. And it only got worse as she got older, where she's like, I've seen heinous shit. Whatever.
Yeah. And then she spoke the truth about the Obamas, and boom, she's gone. Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. Well, listen. That's the world we live in. There's too much I don't know. And a way too much I don't give a fuck, too. People used to give a fuck. A lot of fucks. Right?
See, the I don't know and the I don't give a fucks is fine. It's the I saw this and now you're going to tell me I didn't see this when I know I just saw this. And then pushing the you didn't see that, you're a liar.
That's definitely like, how much do you think is wrong perception versus
89%?
You think it's that high?
Can you at least take a minute?
Yeah, I'm not even talking about perception. This is what I'm talking about. All right, remember when what the fuck that one CNN reporter supposedly beat up the news girl in that press hearing? Now Fox said that the CNN reporter beat up the girl. CNN reporter said he never touched the girl. I watched the fucking live thing. Dude snatched the fucking mic and kind of threw a little body check to her. Wasn't that bad, but perspective is what CNN and Fox are not saying. Perspective is, well, it could have been this way or that way. No, CNN said it didn't happen. Fox said they beat her up. That's just straight lies. Especially when I'm watching it and you're 5 minutes late, motherfucker.
Well, listen, within minutes, people were saying that Will Smith punched Chris Rock, and you're like, it was clearly a smack.
Right.
Nothing, but they're like, well, it's the same thing. You're like, number one, it's absolutely not the same thing. Even the
slap is more disrespectful.
100 times more disrespectful. At least if you punch me, I hope if somebody were to punch me in that way, knock me the fuck out. Like where I was totally outclassed. I had no chance. At least I stood up and took it. But yeah, no, fuck. That's the whole thing, right? Like, so
this motherfucker slapped me.
Yeah, now I gotta cut him. Right? Like that's minimum. If you smack me in the face, I'm gonna have to cut you.
That's the equivalent of the wiping of the eyebrow, man.
Oh, the wiping of the eyebrow is way worse. You were gonna get shivved. Like there was gonna be like it wasn't gonna be just a quick like stuff, There
was little Puerto Rican girls just coming about the woodwork, dude. I had to leave.
Oh, it was gonna be an assault knife.
I totally listen, man. So the one thing about comedy is you meet some fucking characters, and then you see, like, I've seen a few female comics. And by the way, so anyone who thinks that there are female comics, like they're funny for a female comic, you're like, no. You'll know when you meet a female comic that's actually funny because they're just funny. It has nothing to do with anything else. Now, that being said, I've seen a few female comics a couple times stand up to people, and I was like, impressive. And then I kind of realized, oh, she's terrifying. She will stab you with a screwdriver any day of the week. You're like, oh, okay. Well, it's good to know. You're like, man, it attracts some fucking characters, especially when the women are more aggressive than the men. You're like, oh, man, the guy comics going to get their ass kicked. Like, so bad.
Look, I was in PA. And there was this one girl, and first time I ever did any time with her or anything, I was hosting the show. And apparently, I don't know if she's part of the Elemental P's or whatever. She was there with another chick, but dude, her purse fucking fell over. This dildo that, I can't even call it a dildo. There has to be a name for something bigger. Came out of this fucking purse, and it just kind of rolled. And she rolled with it. Like, it was her purse. She rolled with it. She threw it in her set. She was like, oh, yeah, and anybody who think they can get into my DMs tonight or nothing, I got it taken care of. And I'm thinking, and she looked at me, and the only thing I had for her, thank God, but I just bought a sex swing, and it was sitting in the backseat of my car. I was like, look, boo, I got a sex swing right now. We can go. But, yeah, she scared me with that fucking dildo. I'll tell you that right there. It was like the size of your fucking forearm, Dino. And it wiggled. It was.
Listen, in all honesty, like, I'm confident in my size and everything, and I'm like, look, it's a big canvas, but everything's proportionate. I'm good, But at the same time, like, a girl holds up something fucking like this, and you're like, I'm intimidated by that. Just standing there. It doesn't even have to work. It could be no batteries and still. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like,
dude, yeah, no lie. I mean, y'all know stories about me. I seen that. I was like, ooh.
Listen, it answers the question.
Yeah.
Listen, it answers the question is it an Arby's sandwich? Yes, it is. 100% Arby's sandwich. It is God. Yeah, just all meat. Just a fucking handful of meat down there. Just go for it.
Look, I don't mind throwing the hot dog down the hallway every now and again, and I don't mind playing the fucking dinner triangle every now and again. But that was like I was driving a fucking Chevette down the fucking New York tunnel.
He's like, after the wig and the berries up in that shit.
Well, it's very Thelma and Louise, like you're going off a cliff one way or another.
No, I'm looking more like Wile E. Coyote.
Well, listen.
Hit the ground, put the little umbrella up.
But there was no hitting the ground.
There was no hitting the ground.
She's a pretty girl though, cool people, but I couldn't fuck her. I could probably, stay the night in there like it was a fucking star, like that beast on Star Wars that Luke Skywalker had to sleep in.
Oh God! Listen, that's the funny thing is, like, I've had a couple of people say, "Well, if something happened to Victoria, what would you do?" And I'm like, "No, never again." I'm like, just hookers. Like, I could never.
Should have been like, "I'll eat her." What do you think, motherfucker?
No. If something happens to Victoria, I'm like, I'm never getting married again. I'm like, listen, just hookers and that's it. I'm like, I can relationship. Oh fuck no, God. At this point, the kind of way that people introduce things, they're like, oh hi, I'm a pervert. You're like, hey man, maybe just drinks. Let's not talk about anything weird. Just chill out, dude. Fuck.
Hey, I'm trying to eat here. Can you just shut up? Enjoy your free meal.
I wouldn't even know where to, like, I have my first show in person here in Toronto on the 28th. Which is this Saturday, right? Saturday.
That with Duffy?
Yeah. The Matt Duffy original. It's Killing with Kindness. If you check out the Instagram, it's got all the details there. But the funny thing is, like, I honestly do not know how to interact with people, and I'm terrified of, like, because it's gonna be real people, and I'm like, okay, so I'm like, I got a mask and everything. I'm not too worried. Like, I got a good like N95 one, right? So I'm not gonna look like some loser who's like, I have a cloth one with stripes on it. Fuck you, loser. You know,
you should have said something, man. I'd have sent you some cool ones. I got Mortal Kombat ones. I got fucking skull ones, rainbow ones.
Well, this is the problem. Is right now with my beard size, it looks like a lady from the '70s bush. Like I put on the mask, it just sticking out everywhere. So
they're like an underwear commercial.
Yeah, not a good one either. Yeah. It's like a South Park men's underwear commercial. You're like, oh, there's so much air. This is horrible. So yeah, I got to trim up everything first and then do that. But like, I don't know. I'm afraid to hang out with people because you know how it's a bar, right? People get drink, people do all sorts of weird shit.
It just depends on the intoxicant. I'm a different person with every different intoxicant. And then when you mix them all together, that's an entirely different person too. They all know.
Well, that's the thing is now, and everybody is trying to express themselves, and I feel like someone's gonna touch my butt, and I'm like, hey, listen, I'm married, leave me alone, don't touch my butt, pervert.
You gotta like. There's certain times, like again, certain intoxicants in me where I'll feel the same way, and then there's certain intoxicants where I'll fucking throw my ass right up on you and fucking butt hump you.
MDMA, people, use it sparingly. Allegedly. Let's, I wouldn't know. I'm just saying, be careful.
The colors are real, man. I feel. I taste blue. I taste blue.
I can hear colors and I can see sound, motherfucker. That's the way it goes. Dude. I went and bought some joints from just the local dispensary, and the guy. Oh, listen, he gave me nighttime ones, it's an indica. It's a nice little cigarette. It's nice. I go, listen, but I want something to party with. He goes, what do you mean? And I'm like,
sativa.
I go, no, show me Jesus, man. Like fucking rock my world, do something. And he was just like, all right. So I had one of those earlier today, and I'm like, it's been pretty good, but at the same time, like, fuck, man.
Dude, I found a new way. It's called I call it cold cocking. It's because I got a lid for my dab rig, and it's a little chicken. So and hitting it is called cold hitting it. So you add the chicken to it, it's cold cocking. But dude, oh my god, like you put the same amount of dab like for one hit. And you cold cock it, and you get like 5 hits out of it, and there ain't very many times that I've slept over anybody's house. Anybody's. We finished the show one night. You did the show with us. We finished the show,
yeah,
and that was it. I woke up on Greg's fucking sofa.
Yep.
I was like, what? I had no clue what happened. I even messaged Greg the next day. I was like, what the fuck happened? What are y'all roofing me?
And I told him, I said, you got cold cock.
Yeah.
He didn't find it very funny.
Definitely, right? Like, but you only get one of those, right? It's worth it. You gotta take it. That's for sure. But like realistically, Marco, I'll tell you right now, like you said a lot of words that I know what they mean. However, how you put them together, I'm like, yeah, I got nothing, man. I'm like, I barely figured out how to fucking use a bomb.
When we meet up in Cleveland, I'm gonna make sure I bring it with me.
Oh God.
Be careful, man.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this once, okay? I am not of the size that if anything happens, we'll just carry him. That's not an option, okay?
Yeah,
where I fall, you need pylons and you need a safety belt just to put around the area. Because I'm not going anywhere.
We got you. We got you.
Yeah.
I feel like you need like those lights. Not a lot of lights, but at least a reflector. I think that's reasonable.
Greg's like, no, we don't got you. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Hey, a couple times someone's like, oh, I'll catch him. And everyone's like, oh, God, no. And they're like, oh, no. They see their life just flash before their eyes.
Right. We had a buddy. He was a pretty hefty size, too. Big guy. And he used to get high with us and shit like that, too. And I used to tell him all the time. He started coughing and hacking and shit. I'm like, dude, you better not pass out because I ain't picking your big ass up. This guy was pretty big.
And he got a tow truck.
For just him? Like, is it just for him? Like,
no, Greg got his own tow truck. If a motherfucker with a tow truck say, "Look, I ain't picking you up," you got an issue.
Right.
I feel like you have to make sure that you can pull the wire all the way into the house to drag him out. Like you
trust me, I could.
Yeah,
we'd have got it. We'd have got it. At least a pinky toe dragged him the fuck out.
You just got to worry about the corners, right? And aside from that, just go slow. It'll be fine. It's, nothing will break. You won't.
You just put a foot to it, kick it around the corner a little bit as it goes.
Yeah, just give it a little room, right? Like it's like when you have to roll the big cylinders of oxy and acetylene. You got to just kick them every once in a while and keep them rolling. That's fine. Even I know that trick.
Me and Scotty, one of the hosts of Full Album Friday, ran up on his fucking porch and stole his wheelchair.
Yeah, I was running all over the neighborhood.
So Scotty riding, I'm pushing it. And look, we rode that thing literally till the wheels rolled off in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And they gave him his broken wheelchair back.
Yeah, we're good friends. We're really good friends.
Nobody needs friends like that, people. Just remember, don't. There's a new video going around of a guy, like an older guy, with like one of those motorized scooters, and he's towing his own boat. One guy's like, "What in the hell?" If he
had a scooter that strong, then fucking so be it. Roll on, Grandpa.
Hey, some of the older ones, like they're heavy, right? So they can tow stuff, and it's flat ground, so it's not that big of a deal. But hey, man.
I'd be impressed. You pull that boat into the water, you drop the fucking thing, roll your fucking wheelchair up.
I wouldn't trust it to roll it into the water. Like this was just flat ground on the street. That's fine. But yeah, a ramp? No, God, no. That's Grandpa's going bye-bye. See you later.
Oh
yeah, that honk. It's waving. Have fun.
Speaking of old senile bastards, we're gonna end this show up with Joe Biden's latest bullshit.
Right, I'm out. Y'all have a good night.
No, you'll find this fucking hilarious, Greg. So now the gas prices is no longer price gouging, and there's no longer the Russian war with Ukraine. And it's no longer us shutting down our pipelines. It is the great transition, people. It is we have to go through this so we can transition over to alternative fuels. Fuck you, Joe Biden. What are your thoughts?
That's a bunch of bullshit. Right from the rip.
What alternative fuels?
Yeah, it just
electric windmills. Your feet, because you can't afford gas. That's what the alternative fuel is.
That's what I was thinking, but I was giving benefit of the doubt.
Well, when I get home, I need to air out my bike tires.
Realistically, though, could you not facilitate where you could have like a stationary bike to run your house and run electricity? You could do that.
Yeah, right? You can put a hamster in a fucking wheel and do it too.
No,
it ain't very efficient.
But that's the whole point, right? Is like realistically, him saying, "Oh, well, we're gonna have to pay these high prices so we can get through this gap." You're going, "Hey, man, no. That's all you're doing is explaining that, hey, we got caught with our pants down, and instead of covering our wiener, we said, wiener! Everybody look at my wiener." And now we're all stuck looking at your wiener, right? Like there was
his old shriveled wiener.
Yeah. And it's all pixelated, but it's only the balls. Like it's not his wiener, it's all just balls.
It's just all balls.
Yeah. Just like it's pixelated like it's 4 feet long, but it's all just his balls.
It's all sack.
Yeah. But like this ridiculous where he's like, you know what? We're making changes. Hey man, maybe change it back just for now.
Yeah.
While you're at full out war with another country, your historical nemesis, if we call it, okay? Yeah, maybe now's not the time to buckle down and change things up.
And we're about to head into what? George Soros. Now look, I don't like that motherfucker, but if a Soros, a Rockefeller, or a Rothschild says something, some shit's about to pop off. Anybody who fucking looks into anything deep, they know some shit's. Soros said that the Ukrainian war is the beginning of World War III. Perfect. Biden says he's sending money over to Ukraine, but ain't saying shit about defending them. But what he is saying is he's going to defend Taiwan against China. How?
I feel like that's more Japan's job, no?
Kinda doesn't make sense.
That don't make sense at all. None of it makes sense. Especially China just revamped their whole military. We did a show on that like 3 years ago. China got G.I. Joe type weaponry. Like they literally got laser guns, like hand laser guns.
Of course they do. They're China.
Oh, and then we're gonna defend Taiwan, but we won't defend Afghanistan.
Maybe it's because their military equipment doesn't last more than 2 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Listen, the battery doesn't charge properly after the third charge. None of the guns are going to work in 2 weeks.
Right?
Yeah, but they got 1 million of them.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter if you have 1 million troops and everybody's using one. You got 3 hours worth of war, and then you got to call in the Americans to help you.
Your lightsaber only has to cut you once.
And knowing them, it'll probably be right in the wiener.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they can't deflect a bullet,
all right.
What good is the lightsaber?
Yeah, well, I mean, they got laser bullets. Well, it'll be something for another time. Come and check us out tomorrow night. We got Vinyl Thursday. We got what Scoundrels? What's the new show's name?
Retired Scoundrels.
We got Retired Scoundrels.
At
we
2
got
p.m.
2 p.m. We got Full Album Friday coming up. We got also the Stay at Home Comedy Show. Don't forget, we got a show at the Wickyards, June 18th. Big Sticks! All right, with that being said, guys, y'all have a good night, and we're out.
Later.
Thank y'all.